Welcome, everyone, to Intensity Broadcasting for tonight's coverage of the Thunderstruck SamAllyCo Late Model Series tonight. These late models will be taking on USA International Speedway for 100 laps of racing action. I'm going to be your announcer for tonight's race. My name is Atlee Weiss, and I'm excited to call every second of tonight's short track racing coverage. We are 2 races into the season now, and we are coming off of a race at Southern National Motorsports Park, where we saw Dylan Bates grab his second win out of 2 races this season, but it was not easy. We had 4 cautions and 1 lead change. Dylan Bates was supposed to start on the pole, but after some internet issues, he had to start from the pits. He worked his way up through the lead, and he led the final 23 laps. Finishing second was Corey Bigley. He led the first 77 laps. Third was Eric Tracy. Fourth was AJ Rogers. And rounding at your top 5, that was Elliott Carlson. So, after 2 races, Dylan Bates is your point standings leader. He's got an average finish of first, 2 wins at Myrtle Beach and Southern National. Currently in second, 8 points back, is Eric Tracy. Third was Elliott Carlson. Fourth was Rick Rube. And currently rounding at your top 5, 18 points back from the lead, that is Jake Boehm. So definitely going to be a fun points battle heading into this race. Many points battles still alive and well. Championship not far from over, but Dylan Bates has quickly proven that he is the driver to beat heading into this season. But with this season, obviously got to give a big thank you to SamAllyCo for being the title sponsor of the Late Model Series. SamAllyCo is your one-stop shop for great gifts. You can find a wide variety of artful and expressive candles, graphic tees, and mugs on their easy-to-navigate website. SamAllyCo also offers PC builds and repairs for those in the Fort Wayne area. Check out their website. Link is in the description. And yeah, with the holiday season coming up, birthdays always happening, it's a great place to buy gifts for loved ones, family, friends, whatever. They've got it all on, there it is right there, SamAlly.com. As we wrap up practice, the aforementioned Dylan Bates is on the top of the board with a 21.07. It's really tight, though, 2nd through 4th. Jake Boehm, Eric Tracy, John Bennett, all turning 21.11s. Came down to the thousandth of a second. And then Tyler Rice is sitting there in 5th right now with a 21.13. This is going to be a fun one, as always. It's been a competitive season. But USA is like no other track we've been at so far. It'll be a great challenge for these drivers. So here we go. Qualifying is underway now. Drivers will get 2 laps to try to set their best possible lap time. That'll determine will they will start on the grid. So Tyler Rice was quick in practice. He heads out onto the track. So was Eric Tracy. Eric Tracy getting his tires warmed up. Tyler Rice heads right up against that outside wall to build up a ton of speed heading into his first lap. And we see Chris Reese jumps to the top of the board with a 21.32. Tyler Rice off of 4, getting ready to complete his first lap. And we see Eric Tracy jumps to the top of the board with a 21.26. That puts him 600ths ahead of Chris Reese. Tyler Rice is third with a 21.39. And then A.J. Rogers jumps to the top of the board with a 21.18, putting him 800ths ahead of Eric Tracy. Eric Tracy fights back, though, in his second lap, jumping to a 21.15. 200ths ahead of A.J. Rogers. Aaron Abendroth in third with a 21.27. A.J. Rogers improves on his second lap, going to a 21.13. So that knocks Eric Tracy back down to second. Aaron Abendroth in third. About a 10th off. There's Aaron Ward looking to see what he can do. Sam Wetstein slows down. He's seventh right now. Jake Boehm onto the racetrack. We see John Bennett puts it third with a 21.21. 800ths off. There's Elliot Carlson on track in the 09, trying to see what he can do. He finished fifth last week at Southern National. And Dylan Bates jumps to second with a 21.13. Came down to the thousandths of a second, but not able to top A.J. Rogers' time. Elliot Carlson trying to see what he can do. First lap for the 09, 22.21. Needs almost a second to try to jump to the pole, but he maybe use that lap to warm up his tires, get some heat built up to prepare him for a strong second lap. Will that be the case? Yeah, he leapfrogs to 8th with a 21.29, putting him a little bit close to 0.2 off of A.J. Rogers. Kieran Church, next up. Struggled in qualifying last week at Southern National. And he puts it at a 21.85 first lap. Josh Oswald, 21.86. He's out there as well. They're 14th and 15th. We'll see what they can pick up on lap number 2. Kieran Church jumps to 6th. Josh Oswald moves up to 14th. And that'll do it for all the drivers that need to turn a lap, but provisional poll right now is A.J. Rogers. Let's quickly talk about the track that we are racing at tonight. A 3/4 mile semi-banked oval. USA International once hosted a variety of races for a couple of racing series. Located in Lakeland, Florida, it combines long straights and tight turns into a thrilling racetrack. The track demands a tuned engine and a tough chassis to get around this track's nasty bumps. It's got 14 degrees banking in the turns, 2 degrees banking on the straightaways. Track opened in 1995 with Richard Flanzer as its owner, and it closed on August 2nd, 2008. And of course, we are navigating it in the Cars late model stock cars. They are the newest late model stock vehicle that has replaced the old Chevrolet Monte Carlo SS. The Cars late model stock is a 500 horsepower V8 roaring beast for many short tracks and mile oval tracks throughout the Southeast. The car is double-arm suspension with coilover shocks and springs combined with the truck arm and track bar, giving it the stability, agility, and proper turning needed to get around the tight short tracks and wider mile oval tracks with relative ease. The car also features a 4-speed manual transmission with 475 foot-pounds of torque, giving it some serious muscle out on the track. And we are going to have a 1-car heat race. Brandon Wallace joined the session late, did not turn a qualifying lap, so he's locked himself into the feature, but he will get 20 extra practice laps to try to get that Camry dialed in. Driver from Odessa. Those in the server have nicknamed him Bubba. Bubba Wallace, as you can see, with the 23XI NASCAR driver on the hood. Dr. Pepper is the sponsor. So this is nice for Brandon. He'll get 20 laps to try to get everything dialed in before the feature. And there we go. Green flag is out. And here we go. 20 laps underway for that 89. And the main thing that these drivers are going to have in their toolbox that they can mess with in the car during the race, all the drivers, will be that brake bias. And you can increase the front bias or reduce the front bias and put more brakes into the rear. And basically this is indicated as a percentage, since this indicates the relative amount of brake pressure applied from the master cylinder to the front brakes. So if you increase the front brake bias, then it'll put more braking force into the front tire, so this will stabilize the car in the braking zones, increase drive off, or drive in, excuse me. Then if you reduce that front brake bias, put in more rear brake, it's going to put more braking on the rear tires, which will improve the braking efficiency. But if you do too much of that, it'll hurt performance by reducing the overall braking efficiency, and the car will be a little bit skatey, won't brake in a straight line. So that's the main thing that drivers going to have in their brain while they're turning laps, adjusting on that. A little recap of Thunderstruck so far this week. We had the mini stocks on Monday, where Dylan Bates grabbed the win. Then on Wednesday, we had our twin modified races at Kern. Elliott Carlson won the first race, and then Jake Boehm won the second of the two twins. So obviously those two cars completely different from this one, but Boehm, Carlson, and Bates all certainly have momentum heading into this one. So all those drivers looking to win multiple races in different classes. We see Brandon just ran a 21.67. Still getting faster. He now improves to a 21.41. We'll see if he can improve again. 21.36. Brandon keeps picking up his lap time. So it shows that the tires aren't falling off too much. But I will tell you this track very hard on tires. Takes a lot of skill to save here, and he falls off for the first time in a little bit to a 21.78. So his best time was a 21.36. To put that in perspective, looking at qualifying times, That would have put him little over 2/10. It's not horrible. But the fact that he did that after getting multiple laps on his tires. We can do a little cockpit view. See what's going on through the eyes of Wallace. So there he is. Making that turn in, gets right to the bottom lane. Gasses it up really late. I don't know if he's just not able to get the car set how he would like. A little bit better there off of turn number 2. Definitely going to thank all of you who have tuned in to watch so far. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, as that would be greatly appreciated. Trying to reach our goals of 2,500 followers on Facebook, 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and 1,000 subscribers on Twitch. Check out our Twitter page, Intensity Broad 1. Always dropping polls, interacting with our viewers on there. And make sure to visit our web store, intensitybroadcasting.com, where you can buy all of our Intensity Broadcasting merchandise, and you can also contact us for all of your custom printing needs. We can do shirts, hats, hoodies, what have you, for your race team, business, event that you're holding. We'd be happy to do it all and hook you up. So make sure to check us out. Intensity Apparel. We've done stuff for a lot of real-life racing teams, restaurants. Definitely make some good stuff there at Intensity Apparel. But 2 laps to go. Brandon Wallace heads into 3 and 4. Taking that white flag, and it's been clean and green for him in this heat race. So we see that 89 down into 3 and 4. Gassing it up for the final time. Brandon Wallace will get the heat race win. If you're not first, you're last. Well, Brandon was first, and he was last there. But we'll just say he was first. That sounds better. Gonna have a 2-minute warm-up just to give these drivers one last opportunity to get everything figured out with setup. Then we will be on to the main feature. So we see AJ Rogers has showed up with some speed, parking it on the pole. I'm feeling this will be a good competitive race. As we currently watch warm up, see what kind of times these guys are turning. See Eric Tracy to the top of the board. Then it's John Bennett to the top of the board with a 21.30. Josh Oswald hops up there with a 21.26. So John Bennett is second, 21.30. 300ths off. Then it's Abendroff in third with a 21.36. Eric Tracy, AJ Rogers, your pole sitter to the top of the board with a 21.24. Put some 200ths ahead of Tracy and Oswald. And there's Dylan Bates going quick time with a 21.20. Eric Tracy outdoes him there with a 21.18. That puts him about 100th ahead of Bates there. AJ Rogers third. And we see cars are flipping, wrecking. Goodness gracious, the right front tire is off of the 09. All right, here we go. We are gridding for your feature event. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. Starting on the pole with a 21.125. It's the 117 of AJ Rogers. Second is Jake Bayman, the 18. Third is the 91 of Dylan Bates. And fourth, it's Eric Tracy in the 66. Fifth is the 08 of John Bennett. Then in sixth, that's Velocity Motorsports' Kieran Church in the 22. Seventh is the 65 of Aaron Abendroth. Eighth, it's Oval Addicts' Tyler Rice in the 6. Ninth is the 09 of Elliott Carlson. And rounding at your top 10, that's Rick Rube. 11th, it's Smokin' Sam Wetstein in the 98. Velocity Motorsports driver 12th. Highside Racing's Chris Reese in the 62. 13th, it's the Griftozer, William Griffith in the 12, driver for Reaper Racing. 14th is Velocity Motorsports' Josh Oswald in the 17. The Jet. And rounding out your top 15, it's Aaron Ward in the 99. And rounding out the field in 16th, another Reaper Racing driver in the 89, it's Brandon Bubba Wallace. So here we go. AJ Rogers on the bottom, Jake Bayman on the top. They make up your front row. It's Dylan Bates, Eric Tracy, John Bennett behind them. 100 laps on a very abrasive track. Gonna be all about tire saving. Can Dylan Bates grab 3 wins in a row? Or will we see somebody new? Pace car is in. And green flag is in the air. Your feature event is underway. Oh, and the 17 is around off the nose of the 91. Caution flag is out. And what happened there? So there's AJ Rogers. And it looks like as he must have missed a shift. Because he just all of a sudden loses a ton of momentum right in front of the 91. Sending him into the grass. Wow. So now that will put Jake Bayman in the lead with Dylan Bates second. Eric Tracy third, Kieran Church fourth, Tyler Rice in fifth. And Brandon Wallace has already gained 3 spots, going from 16th to 13th. So he's hoping to continue to work up through the field. So Jake Bayman was very lucky he was on the outside, and Dylan Bates, obviously lucky he didn't get any more damage from that wreck than he did. Front nose looks fine. And the other thing that he's lucky about is that Eric Tracy or no, that wouldn't have been Tracy. whoever was behind, I may have been Tracy, but whoever was behind 91, he's lucky that they just didn't plow through him when he checked up. So already not the way that AJ Rogers wanted to start this one. And so we should be getting ready to go back. Green lights on the pace car are off. It'll be Jake Boehm on the bottom, Dylan Bates on the top. Then behind them, it's Eric Tracy. And looks like we're doing a single file restart. A little bit confused on the situation here. Nope, yep, we're doing a single file restart. Pace car is in. Green flag is back out, and there is Jake Boehm up to the gears, leading the field into 1 and 2. Let's try this start again. Jake Boehm quickly running away for this race lead. The field is spread out now. There's William Griffith, and we're back under caution once again. All right, so there we go. There's the restart. Green flag is back in the air. Apologies. We are underway. And it's Dylan Bates trying to close in on Jake Boehm for this race lead. Big one for the 91. Off of turn number 2. Stays all over that back bumper, just waiting for that 18 to give up the bottom. And he'll look low. Off of 4. Not quite able to get there yet. So he'll go to the outside now. Boehm still with the nose on the bottom. But Bates trying to make it work up there. He'll tuck back in line. Try to set something up. Boehm, on the other hand, being defensive, trying to control the pace of this race and control the field. But Bates, big run off of turn number 2, gets into the back bumper of the 18. He goes up to the outside. But Jake Boehm, like a brick wall, not letting that 91 get by him. There's Bates. Keeping it close. Just waiting and studying Jake Boehm. Waiting for the opportunity to pounce. And he may have to play some offense and defense here, as here comes Eric Tracy, reeling him in for second. And you could literally throw a blanket over your entire top 7. We've got some close racing going on right now. Just waiting to see who will be able to make a move first. Or if we may just ride for a little bit. Bates just ran his personal best lap time of the race with a 21.60. He looks low off of 2. And not quite able to get under the 18 yet. But obviously, it's still early in the race. I don't think anybody's giving 100%. Everybody's kind of just riding right now. Feeling things out, but Bates looks low off of 2 again. Trying to get to that left rear. Not able to do so. Jake Boehm will shut the door and continue to hang on to this first place spot. Looked like Bates maybe got in his back bumper a little bit. He now goes to the outside. But Boehm will keep him at bay. Boehm's like, I want to control this race. I need to control this race. So far, he's been able to do so, but Dylan Bates definitely not making it easy. Bates looking to the outside now. Or maybe just trying to get a big arc into 3 and 4 to get a good run off. Nothing big gain there. But your top two are running away from the rest of that pack. Dylan Bates just continuing to be patient, biding his time as he tries to work by this 18. Bates getting right up there to that back bumper. Ready to use the chrome horn if need be, but again, we're so early in the race, I don't know if there's any reason to push the issue. Obviously, everybody is just right now riding, saving tires. Bates is fast, though. He just ran his personal best lap time of the race with a 21.39. And that's what you kind of have to do. You just hang out in second, keep it right there, and hope that eventually the pressure that you're mounting could cause a slip up from the 18. But Jake Boehm has been pretty perfect thus far, not giving Dylan the mistake that he wants. We see Dylan getting a big arc there into 3 and 4. Or maybe he was going to try to make something happen on the outside. And with that logic, you know, if you're that much faster than somebody, you maybe could be able to make it work on the outside. Oh, he gives him a tap off of 2. Looks to the outside now. He's right about to the door of the 18. Falling now to the quarter. And up off. Boehm will be able to clear him. But Dylan Bates, goodness gracious, goes down there to the bottom. Right to the left rear, now to the door. They are side by side, off of 2. Boehm with the nose on the outside. But there's Dylan Bates fighting back on the bottom. They're door handle to door handle now. Bates with the momentum. Whoa, big squirrely there for Jake Boehm. Almost lost it. He saves it. So he will now tuck in line into second. But he keeps it close with Dylan Bates, not letting him get too far ahead. In fact, he tries to take a shot at the back bumper of the 91. Big run off of 4. So now Dylan Bates trying his best to control this race. Oh, 18 gives him a nudge off of 2. But that hurt Jake more than it helped him. Looking elsewhere through the field, Tyler Rice trying to track down Kiernan Church for this 4th place spot. We continue to watch Jake Boehm try to get to Dylan Bates. We will have some lap traffic in a second as your leaders close in on Elliott Carlson. Could we see Jake Boehm try to use this 09 car as a pick? Oh, we see Elliott Carlson gets out of the racing groove. Lets your top 2 fight things out. A little wiggle there off of 4 for Jake Boehm. We're a quarter of the way through this race. And so far, it's been your top 2. Dylan Bates, Jake Boehm duking it out. Jake Boehm gives him a bump there off of 4. Not able to do anything with it. He will stay right behind the 91 for the time being. Yeah, I think with these two, they're at a pretty blistering pace right now. I don't know if there's any concern for tire fall off with this battle that we're seeing. Obviously, I'm sure there's a little bit, or else they'd maybe be fighting a little bit harder. Still, I don't think you're at the point where you're giving 100% maybe right now in this battle. You're giving probably, I don't know, 25% of a fight. But Jake Bain keeps getting loose on corner exit. I don't know if it's because that car is loose or if he's getting tight in the center and it's just over-rotating when he gasses up and he's up the hill. But that's definitely hurting him. Yep, same thing happened there. Happens every time. I mean, recently it's been off of turn number 2, but we're watching from this cockpit cam, and you see right when he gasses it up, he has to make that slight correction to the wheel. Looks like he's able to get to the left rear of Dylan Bates as they take it off of 4. He's there. Not quite able to... There you go. He works his way to the door. Now they're side by side, door handle to door handle. And Jake Bain snatches the race lead back. And he is starting to extend that gap between himself and Dylan Bates. Hoping to hang on to this lead now for a lot longer. We watch now the battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Eric Tracy, Kieran Church, Tyler Rice all tight together. Just waiting to see who will pounce. We see Tyler Rice is a little bit closer to Church than Church is to Tracy. So we'll see what Tyler's going to try to do. And Church is in the trickiest spot because he's not only trying to reel in Eric Tracy for the 3rd place spot, but he's also trying to hold off that 6 machine and make sure that he can't do anything to get by the 22. Another car is going to be added to the mix here as Tracy is starting to close in on Dylan Bates for the 2nd place spot. But Dylan, at the same time, he's keeping it close with Jake Bain. Still decent gap between the 18 and the 91. But it could become something to worry about again eventually as Dylan Bates starts to close in on the 18 a little bit. As each lap, we're still in that riding stage of the race, where you're probably just giving about 50% right now with how aggressive you're being, how hard you are in the throttle. But Dylan Bates getting closer. Big run into 1 and 2 for the 91. See a little rear end stepping out for the 18 off of 2. That might be something that Dylan Bates is going to want to try to take advantage of. As he studies that 18, he looks to the outside, able to get to that right rear quarter panel, but can't do anything with that run. So he'll tuck back in line behind the 18. Looks low on the backstretch. Dives down to the bottom of the racetrack there into 3 and 4. He's to the door. He's got the nose off of 4. They are right with each other. Down to the start-finish line, neither giving the other an inch. But Bates going to be able to clear Jake Bain, and now Bain tries to tuck in line in front of Tracy before he loses another spot. Bain keeping it close with Dylan Bates, not letting him get too far ahead. And these two, all throughout this race, have just been going at it. It's been entertaining for sure. And just think we're not even halfway yet. So Jake Boehm continuing to keep it close right with Dylan Bates. He's got a big run into 1 and 2. Closes in on that back bumper. At 18, fighting hard right now. Looks low off of 4. Can he get there? He's going to dive it into 1 and 2. Yes. He'll take the nose, and they swap positions again. Jake Boehm back to the race lead. Dylan Bates now falling to second. So now the game of cat and mouse continues. Dylan Bates going to try to reel Boehm back in to retake the race lead. Looks like they're closing in on lap traffic. Elliott calls it. Oh, we got a car around off of 2. Jump scare. And that'll bring us under our second caution of the race. Woo! I'm sure we see a sigh of relief from your leaders. That was a close one. Looks like it was John Bennett. There he is heading down the front stretch. He's got the 99 of Aaron Ward behind him. And you see Ward drives it hard into 1 and 2. And he just pushes up right into the 08, sending him around. I don't know if he thought he had more room, or it was just a pass gone wrong. But that was right in front of your leaders. Luckily, everybody was able to get checked up where they could make it through. So Jake Boehm was your leader when the caution flag came out. It's Dylan Bates, Eric Tracy, Kieran Church, Tyler Rice making up your top 5. And right outside of there, got to give a big shout out to Rick Rube, currently in 6th. He currently is your biggest mover of the race. He's gained 4 spots since the green flag dropped. Started in 10th, but he's done a good job working his way up through the field. And I'm seeing a few drivers running through the grass right now. And what I think they may be doing is maybe cooling off the tires a little bit. I don't know if there's something to that. There's been a few people that I've seen go down there. So right now, we've mostly been witnessing the cat and mouse game between Jake Boehm and Dylan Bates. Those two have not given an inch through this race. And I have no doubt it's going to continue, and there may be some other horses being added to the race with Eric Tracy, Kieran Church, Tyler Rice up there. Again, Rick Rube's fast. Watch out for him. Aaron, A.J. Rogers could be a threat as well. Obviously, he qualified well. Started on the pole. Yeah, that's understatement, qualified well. He started on the pole, but had that first lap incident, fell to the back, and he's been trying to work his way back up through the field. Obviously trying to save while doing so. So we've hit the halfway point. Coming to the restart, Jake Boehm, Dylan Bates make your front row, and at this point now, still a lot of saving, but I think these drivers might be showing now probably 75% aggression. with their inputs and with their driving. So there we go. Green flag is back in the air. Jake Boehm up through the gears, leading the field into 1 and 2. It's Dylan Bates and Eric Tracy now for second. Eric Tracy able to clear the 66. We see Church tucks in line into fourth. Tyler Rice trying to clear Rick Root for this fifth place spot. And he was able to do so there. So the battle resumes between Jake Boehm and Dylan Bates for this first place spot. Dylan Bates just ran his personal best with a 21.31 right up against the back bumper of the 18. What is he going to do into 3 and 4? Oh, he gives him the bumper off of 4. Letting him know, hey, I'm here. And I'm ready to get back by. But that bump cost Bates a little bit of momentum that he's trying to gain back. Eric Tracy keeping it close by in third place as well. Ready to pounce if either of these two get into trouble. And you want to know who the... Oh, we got a caution flag out. Third caution of the race. Looks like it was Josh Oswald. There's Josh Oswald, William Griffith off of 4. They're dooring each other. And Oswald just pushes up into the 12, hits his door, and that contact just sends him around. Wow. That's not what Josh Oswald wanted for sure. So we're back under caution with Jake Boehm continuing to lead. Dylan Bates second. Eric Tracy third. Kieran Church fourth. Tyler Rice fifth. I was getting ready to say Aaron Abendroth was quick. He turned the fastest lap time of the race right before the caution flag came out with a 21.26. And we see John Bennett will get his lap back. It's been a rough race for him. After not competing last week, qualified top 5 and 5th. He had fell all the way back through the field, and then we saw that incident between himself and Aaron Ward. So Jake Boehm, Dylan Bates. Make up your top 2 right now. Boehm searching for his first win of the season. Definitely would be a big accomplishment for that whole 18 team. As for Dylan Bates, looking to start this season with a hat trick. 3 wins in a row. But this one isn't going to be easy. Just as that last week in Myrtle Beach wasn't easy, Southern National wasn't easy. You'd be hard-pressed to find a more competitive late model stock car league. Because, yes, Bates has won the first 2 races, but I mean, we've had so much competitive racing up front. A lot of unpredictableness on who's going to get the win. It's not guaranteed when you show up somewhere. So lights on the pace car are off. We're getting ready to go back green. Jake Boehm on the bottom. Bates on the top behind them. It's Eric Tracy, Kieran Church, Tyler Rice. Watch out for Aaron Abendroth in the 65. Just waiting for that pace car to make that hard left turn. Onto pit road. There he goes. Green flag is back in the air. There's your field of late model stock cars heading into 1 and 2. Bame able to get clear over Bates. There's Eric Tracy tucking on. There's Tyler Rice all the way down on the apron. I don't know what happened there. I think he maybe missed a shift and pulled it down there to avoid catching anybody. So that'll give the 5th place spot now to Aaron Abendroth. As I say that, there's Rick Rube on the bottom. He will fight for 5th, and Jake Bame is under attack for the race lead. There's Dylan Bates down to the bottom. Bame will shut the door, but that 91 is certainly the fastest car on the racetrack right now. Bates just continuing to push. He's got a massive run, head of steam into 1 and 2. But Bame, he's quick right now. He realizes that he needs to up the tempo if he wants to hold off this 91. Because Dylan Bates is not making this race easy for Jake Bame. These two have gone at it every single lap. There really hasn't been much of a break here for the battle for the lead. Both of them are so fast. Oh, Bates into his back bumper. He turns him off of 4. Caution flag is out. Wow. There's Bates. Heading off of 4. He's got a big run. See, gets into the back bumper of the 18. And I don't know if he meant to maybe give him that big of a shot, but it was enough to send that 18 around. Luckily, he comes to rest right out of the racing groove, barely, so nobody else gets caught up. But Jake Bame, who came into this race, and they have given the EOL to Dylan Bates, so 2 drivers that came into this race top 5 in points have the potential for a bad points night. Because this will give the lead now to Eric Tracy. Kieran Church is 2nd. Rick Rube 3rd. AJ Rogers 4th. Aaron Abendroth 5th. And a big mover in this one is Rick Rube. Has gone from 10th to 3rd. Has ran a good, patient race. And it's all coming together for driver number 81. Comes into this race top 4th in points. Searching for his first win of the season. I'm sure he'd love to get it done here. He's got 2 stout cars ahead of him in Eric Tracy and Kieran Church. So we see lights on the pace car are off, getting ready to go back green. Tracy on the bottom, Church on the top behind them. It's Rick Rube, AJ Rogers, and Sam Abendroth. Watch out for Smokin' Sam Wetstein there in 6th. He could fight for this lead. He had a really competitive car back at Myrtle Beach, led some laps. Looking to try to do so here tonight. Pace car is in. And green flag is out. There's Eric Tracy now in the race lead up through the gears, taking this field into 1 and 2. Kieran Church Tucks in line into second. There's Rick Rube able to get to third. Almost, yep. He is able to get ahead of A.J. Rogers. Aaron Abendroth tucks in line into fifth. So now the battle is on for your race lead. This time it's between Eric Tracy and Kiernan Church. Tracy trying to manage this gap right now. But Church is right there. Peaking low off of 4. Doesn't have the run, though, to do anything with it. And Eric Tracy is currently the fastest car on the racetrack. 21.10 was his most recent lap time. Just trying to keep Church at bay. And obviously this battle for the lead a little bit calmer than what we saw with Bates and Bame. They were constantly going at it. These two being a little bit nicer with each other. But it could be, I just don't know if Church maybe can get up there to Tracy. These two also could be trying to save their stuff for the end. Church just looking to see what Tracy's doing, where he's going to give up the bottom. And just waiting for Tracy to make a mistake, but I don't know if Tracy will give Church that mistake that he wants. We'll have to keep watching and find out. But, I mean, so far, Tracy has looked really good since assuming this race lead. Your previous top two, Bates and Bame, I don't know if he'll be under threat from them anytime soon, but we're 3/4 away through this race. 25 laps to go. And I'd say this, if you've been saving, it's time to go. Start working your way up through the field because time is running out. So, obviously, guys like Chris Reese, Dylan Bates, John Bennett, Jake Bame, William Griffith, all of them need to hit that loud pedal and start working their way up to the field. Because it's time to get a move on. Tracy starting to extend that gap between himself and Kiernan Church. He will have some lap traffic to deal with, though, with Tyler Rice. So we'll see if maybe Church can use this 6 car as a pick. And that will not be happening because we have a caution flag out. 5th one of the race. Let's see what happened here. We're watching Brandon Wallace. He's got Josh Oswald in front of him. And looks like this actually happens up ahead. Chris Reese off the front bumper of John Bennett. Bennett hits him again. And it just creates a stack up. Carlson in the back bumper of the 12. It's a bad time. So Carlson's rough race continues. He came into this race 3rd in points, runs 11th. Definitely not ideal for driver 09. But it's Eric Tracy continuing to lead. Kiernan Church 2nd, A.J. Rogers 3rd. Aaron Abendroth is 4th. And Rick Rube rounds out your top 5 in 5th. You can keep your eye out on Sam Wetstein as well, has gone from 11th to 6th in this one. We're going to have a shootout to finish this one. Tracy trying his best to close things out. Your top two before they wrecked. Jake Boehm is 7th. Dylan Bates is 8th. So they're inching their way closer to the top 5, but I don't know if, with that lack of track position, if it's maybe too late. But lights are off on the pace car. We're getting ready to go back green. Yeah, it's Eric Tracy, Kieran Church making up your front row. AJ Rogers, Aaron Abendroth, Rick Rube, and Sam Wetstein make up your first 3 rows. Gonna have 19 laps to decide this thing. Pace car is in. Green flag is out. And Eric Tracy trying to close this race out. But he's got to hold off Kieran Church, who tucks in line into second. Side by side for third, AJ Rogers, Aaron Abendroth. Rogers, nice run off of 2. Able to tuck in line in front of that 65. Sam Wetstein, Rick Rube going at it there for 5th. Wetstein, ooh, tight battle going on as we set now our sights onto this battle for the race lead between Eric Tracy and Kieran Church. Looking to see what Church can do. Big run off of 4. He's got to see what he can do with it through 1 and 2. Just waiting to see if that 66 creates a gap. Or we've seen people do it. Might see that 22 use that chrome horn to make a pass. Still being patient. Big run off of 2. Carries it down the backstretch into 3 and 4. Loses a little bit of ground, but he makes up for it as he gasses it up. And he was practically about to tap that back bumper of the 66. 15 to go. Time is running out for Kieran Church to try to make something happen. Church continuing to be patient. 66 of Eric Tracy doing a good job being defensive, not giving Church that mistake that he needs or that gap on the bottom that he needs. But Tracy's just got to be careful, because eventually, if Church can get there, he might start getting a little bit impatient. That bumper may become more of an option. Big run into 1 and 2 for Church. Looks low. We'll tuck back in line behind the 66 for the time being. Still keeping it close. Off of 4. He's looking really good on corner exit. Just needs to continue to maximize that speed there. Nothing to worry about behind him. Church just needs to focus on getting by this 66. He will have 10 more laps to do so. Time is running out for Kieran Church. And time is running out for Eric Tracy. But she's glad about that as he tries to hang on to this race lead. Kieran Church continuing to keep it close. He's got a big run off of 2. Just waiting for a chance to use that front bumper. Because Tracy is not going to give up the bottom very easy. But there's Church trying to get down there. Keeps it way tight there with the 66. Big run off of 4. 7 to go now. Eric Tracy has done a good job holding Church off, but he looks low. Off of 2. Is he going to dive it down into 3 and 4? He tries to get to that left rear quarter panel. Not able to do so. Tracy will shut the door. Continue to hold Kieran Church at bay. Church, though, you can see his aggression picking up. And watch out for A.J. Rogers. He is starting to reel in your top 2 as well. Coming to 5 laps to go. Desperation time for Kieran Church. What can he pull out of the hat of tricks? And A.J. Rogers is going to add another. Watch out for Dylan Bates. There he is in 4th. This is going to be a fight for many different positions among your top 4. Just who's going to pounce first? There's Church. Time's running out. Gets really close to that back bumper. Can't quite get there yet. But he's got a big run into 1 and 2. Got Rogers right behind him. Rogers tries to look low off of 4, or excuse me, off of 2. Church tries to tap that back bumper once again. Can't quite get there. 2 laps to go. Can Tracy hold off this train of cars? There's Bates looking low underneath A.J. Rogers. He slips in front of him. What can he do to try to get by your top 2? Eric Tracy through 3 and 4. White flag is in hand. One last shot for Kieran Church to try to take this race lead. There's the 22. Off the corner. He's got Dylan Bates behind him. What can he do? He's got a big run off of 4. He looks low off the corner. Oh, he's off the nose of Bates. Chaos. Who's going to make it? Bates makes it to 2nd. Aaron Abendroth finishes 3rd. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Really quickly, let's watch that finish. Ooh. So here it is, last lap. Bates goes down there to the bottom. Gets by Rogers. Now here we are through 3 and 4. Apologies. This is the white flag now. See Church trying to get by Tracy, and Bates sends it into 3 and 4. And I don't know if the 22 checked up or he just had big run, but gets into the back bumper of the 22, sending him around. He gets into the outside wall, so that collects A.J. Rogers. There's Aaron Abendroth. The seas kind of part for him. As I say that, Jake Boehm gets into his back bumper. and he crosses the start-finish line. What in the world? Backwards. Ha ha. Are you not entertained by that one? But let's go ahead and talk to your top three first. Aaron Abendroth, third place finisher. Aaron, this is Atlan in the broadcast booth. You got a copy? Oh, there we go. Apologies. Aaron, this is Atlan in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you. Sorry.
It's all good. Well, wow. What a wild finish there for you here at USA. I know for a lot of this race, you were kind of hovering around that top 5 area, keeping it close and just avoiding the carnage. Did a good job saving your tires, and you were right there in 5th on the final lap. Didn't know if you were able to get any other spots, but then we saw that carnage on the front stretch, able to make it through it, brought it home in 3rd, crossed the line sideways. I mean, just walk us through what was going through your head on that last lap.
I knew I didn't have enough to run all the way up to the front, so I just tried to stay with the group and hope something happened, and it definitely happened. Just saw the cars turn, stayed on the gas, and tried to drive through as much as I could, and ended up sideways across the line. Worked for me.
Now, it looked like this track was pretty abrasive, a lot of tire fall off with the minimal amount of caution. So, I mean, what was the key to saving tires here tonight?
I just followed Rick Rube for the first half of the race. He's amazing at saving tires, so I just followed him and and did what I could to save him.
Now, before we let you go, is there any sponsors or shout-outs?
I guess thank the Thunderstruck League and all the sponsors, SamAllyCo and all the other sponsors. Fun to come out here and run this stuff.
Awesome. Well, again, congrats on the podium tonight, Aaron. Have a great rest of your night.
Thank you. You too.
All right, now let's pull in your 2nd place finisher. Let's talk to Dylan Bates. And looks like Dylan is not in the Discord. So we'll give it maybe a little bit of time just to see if he hops in. And looks like Dylan did not join, so we're going to move on to your victory interview. Let's talk to Eric Tracy. Eric, this is Atlan in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, how's it going?
Doing pretty good up here in the broadcast booth, and definitely going good for you out there on the racetrack, bringing home your first win of the season, and it was definitely an eventful run. I know you had good car. We're kind of running there in 3rd in the catbird seat with Bates and Bain battling it out, and then finally we saw that incident happen. Both of them went to the back, and so you were able to take that race lead, and from there you did a good job holding off Kieran Church for that 2nd place spot and just kept it in the race lead, avoided the carnage, just having that track position on that final lap, and you brought it home. So just, walk us through your race and how you were able to get it done for the first time this season.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. I was just sitting there watching Jake and Dylan run, hoping they were burning their stuff up, but kind of just trying to hang right around in that spot, and they got together. But I appreciate Kieran and racing me clean there at the end. Hate that he got wrecked at the end. That sucks that happened, but it was a good run. I was a little bit tight right there at the end. Kieran was definitely turning better than me. Had a little bit more tire save than I did, but you ran me clean, so that's all I can ask for.
So obviously breaking through for the first time this season. Are you typically like USA? Do you find it suits your driving style?
Yeah, I mean, I don't dislike USA. I mean, I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite racetracks, but it's not a place I dislike racing. So, I tend to be hard on the right fronts on these cars, and I was again tonight. but this place is a little more sweeping, so it doesn't kill the tires quite as bad as like Southern National did last week.
Now, before we let you go, is there any sponsors or shout-outs for your win?
Just you know, the VMS guys and all the sponsors that let us run this series and broadcast it and stuff. Appreciate them.
Awesome. Well, again, congrats on the win. Have a great rest of your night, Eric.
All right, thank you. You too.
Well, there you go. One more time, congratulations to Eric Tracy for breaking through for the first time this season. Of course, got to give a big thank you to all of our league admins, Daniel Pope, Josh Oswald, Sam Wetstein, Alex Veith, Tyler Rice. Thank you to all of them for all that they do for this league, helping it keep on running smoothly. Of course, got to give a big thank you to series sponsor SamAllyCo. Make sure to go check out their website, SamAlly.com, for all of your gift needs. And of course, got to give a big thank you to you, the viewer, for tuning in to watch tonight. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Trying to reach our goals of 2,500 followers on Facebook, 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and 1,000 followers on Twitch. Check out our Twitter page, Intensity Broad 1. We're always dropping polls and interacting with our viewers on there. And check out our web store, IntensityBroadcasting.com. We've got all of our Intensity Broadcasting merchandise on there. And also make sure to contact us for all of your printing needs. We can do shirts, hats, hoodies, anything you need for your race team, business, event. We'd be happy to make it for you. Make sure to turn on those notifications bell because we will be back in action next week at Oswego, the newly added track to the iRacing platform. Should be a fun one. And actually really quick, I did not notice that Dylan Bates was there in the waiting room. So we can pull him in really quick and talk to him before we end the stream. Dylan, this is Atlan, the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
No, I got you.
Well, I apologize there. I didn't see you sitting in the waiting room, but that was definitely an eventful one for you here tonight. No, you started this race right behind that first lap incident where the 117 kind of went across your nose, but it was basically you and Jake fighting hard for that race lead, and eventually you saw that incident, got sent to the back, but worked your way back up, and on that last lap, you just fought hard and were able to cross the line there in second place. So just, walk us through that wild race.
Yeah, the original start, the 17 missed a shift, and I just got in his back bumper and sent him to the infield. No harm, no foul on that deal, I guess. And then, the 18 just doesn't know if he wants to lead a race or run second and save, and then he leads and doesn't know how to save, and then he just slides every corner when you start putting pressure on him and blocks the lane lower and causes a wreck by the end of it. He gets himself so sideways trying to block it down a lane that you barely tap him and it spins him out. So went ahead and sent us both to the rear, and I came back and I was driving mad and ended up spinning my buddy Kieran out for second on the last corner. So not how I wanted to end up second, but all in all, I guess we'll take it.
Any sponsors or shout outs?
Just the guys at VMS Motorsports and, Josh Oswald for putting this on, SamAllyCo, Islander Inn, everybody who sponsors this series.
Awesome. Well, again, good run with the second place finish. Have a great rest of your night.
Thank you, man.
Well, again, one more time. Congrats there. Your top three, Eric Tracy, Dylan Bates, Aaron Abendroth. Like I said, turn on your notification bell. Next week, we will be at Oswego. So that'll be a fun one. I'm sure that track is maybe a track where drivers are relatively unfamiliar with, newer to the iRacing platform. So hope to see you then. I'm Atlee Atman-Least on behalf of the entire Intensity Broadcasting team. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Over and out.